was 1991. I know it's been long that I haven't done a video, and I apologize for that, but there's a lot of things going on in my life, and I really haven't had the chance to do a video regarding of many of the topics that already exist out there. And plus, I have many videos where I practically covered every subject. But one thing that I really want to clarify when I call into third phase of the moon, regarding of my alien abductions, is that I read some of the comments on that video in third phase of the moon, and some people say, well, Blake said it too, that, well, not all aliens are evil, and that's true. Not all of them are evil. But the ones that abducted me were, or still are, evil. And because no person or no entity should have any kids in a young age in a flying saucer where there is so much atrocity going on, especially when there's people chopped in pieces and a lot of screaming and yelling and all these horrific things that stays in a child's head, even in a grown-up. So are they evil, the ones that abducted me? You bet they are, because nothing that it's good would create a hybrid version of a human being, and this is what they're doing. Now, there's another abduction that I would not talk about here in this video, because I want to save that one for third phase of the moon when I call again. But there was another abduction that I was in. And this time, none of my family members were abducted but me. And I was ill. And they really helped me with my with the condition that I had at the moment. And I'll explain with details what happened at the moment they abducted me for a good reason. And but these beings, they physically, I couldn't see them, but I could hear them and I could feel them, but I couldn't see them because there was a bright light, I'm sorry. And they put images in front of me, explaining a lot of things that happened in the past, and explaining to me a lot of things that happen in the future. When I say past, I really mean the past. Everything since the era mid 12th century, the Egyptians, and the 5th century, and even things that happened before Christ. And this is where my knowledge comes from. Most of my knowledge comes from the heavens. Let's put it that way. It comes. I'm not making none of this up. Everything is through the history, and if you research everything that I have said for years, everything is there back printed in history, and things that I never knew about, and it's like the flaxseed. When they show me about the flax seeds, the flax seeds has been existing for I think it was 33,000 years, something like that, and things that I'm not supposed to know, I know. Why? Because these angelic entities, that's what I call them. And they really helped me with my condition. And I'm still here because of them, and I really thankful. And I am gratitude that they kept me alive and fixed whatever the grays had implanted in me. But I just want to make that clear, that not all aliens are bad. Not all of them are demons. There's a spiritual war going on. And when I say spiritual, I don't mean about churches and religion, because all of the churches and religion of this planet Earth, all of them, every single one of them, they come from the fallen angels. All of them. None of them comes from the Most High God, and none of them comes from any good resource to help humanity. Because if you look back in history and religion, especially Christianity, all that you're going to learn is atrocities that they have made through the years. Atrocities like killing women, children, burning and raping men, and burning women in stakes with Why all of it? Because they were trying to read the the true Bible, of the true history of what happened to us humans, and they would accuse every single one of them person whoever tries to read them, which were in Hebrew, they were accused them of witchcraft, and that's what the Christian church did in the mid ages. They started killing a lot of innocent people, and till this day, Christianity is still evil, still do evil things in the Vatican and in many other churches. A lot of priests are accused of molesting children and raping women and all these atrocities. Nothing like that comes from a Holy Spirit. Nothing. Okay, all of that. Why it comes from the serpent, because that's what Christianity comes from the serpent. All these religions comes from the serpent. Every single one of them. And I just want to clear that Blake had put a video in Third Phase of the Moon about a church that I think it's in Italy or somewhere. And in this church, it represents a serpent so obvious in the inside of the building structure and the outside of the building structure. It's all glorifying the serpent. And this is one thing that I want to talk about, because that's where the Christianity comes from. And I have explained in other videos where the Jesus Christ came from. The word Jesus Christ, the name, that word or that name came in the 12th century. That name, if you would go back in the ancient days when the real messenger of the Most High was preaching his word, it was way beyond when supposedly Jesus Christ was born, because the real messenger he was a prophet, and his name was Hijo. I have explained this in other videos that I made, and undeniably showing you how the name of Hijo has been misinterpreted through the years, so religion can look good in front of the mass population of humans. And was from the Zulu tribe, and that's where the real Hebrew came from. The real Hebrew comes from the Zulu tribe in Africa. In other words, Adam and Eve, which means brown life given. Adam and Eve, they were brown people. Okay? And they were the ones who created the Zulu tribe, the Hebrew. And then the Hebrew was enslaved by the Egyptian when they came through the Tower of Babel, and they created Egypt. But Egypt already was there. And back in those days was not called Egypt. It was another name. It's the Egyptian call it Egypt, because they took over the Hebrew and they enslaved the Hebrew, promising them false promises. And they took over the land and over the people. And you had giants, 15, 12 foot tall giants, 20 foot tall giants with the Egyptians. And that was the way that the Hebrew got enslaved, because the Hebrew was scared of these giants. And they all came from the Tower of Babel, all these Egyptians, because they come from Mars. And that's another topic that I will touch in the future. But so you know, remember, all these religions, there's not one single religion in this world, not even from the most in debt of any tribe in this world, from Africa or from Spain or America. It doesn't matter where you come from. And if you believe in any type of Christian religious thought or Muslim or any of these other stuff, all of that comes from the fallen angel. All of it. Now, how can you save yourself? There is a God. Don't get me wrong. There is a God, and He is the Most High, and His name is Ahayaha. That is His real interpretation of the four letters that the scholarship people says that is a tetragrammaton, or I don't know how to pronounce that, which is they call them Yahweh or Jehovah or some sort of name like that, because they didn't know how to pronounce the real name of God, or they really didn't want to pronounce it, because every time you call the Most High Ahayaha or Yah or Yaha, you're calling upon him, and he will listen. And this is what the serpent people doesn't want you to know. They want you to call another god, which is Lucifer. And he's called by many names, especially Jesus Christ and Jehovah. Or Amen. And all those beliefs came from Egypt, from their god, the serpent god, the Trinidadian gods, the triangle god of snakes, which is Ra, Horus, and Amun. So there's a lot of topics, things that I would like to, talk about, so people out there really understand what's going on. And you're not alone. God knows in the troubled world that you lived in or live in, and he knows everything. He knows what goes in your heart and your soul, and he knows what's going on in your life. He will not give up on you, but you don't give up on him, because one day all these demonic reptilians or draconians or Draco or Dracula or zombies, one day they will pay for everything that they have done to humanity, for the creation of the Most High, which is us, humans. I wanted to touch this topic, and just wanted to say, God bless all those seeking the true name of Ahayaha. Bye.